If you bought a property and you want to do the full electrical rewire, there's some things you might forget, and we would like to keep that fresh into your mind. So first thing you might consider is extracting fan. Extracting fan is good to have even in utility. If you have utility space, that's very important to have. And also important to have in your bathroom. As you know, even though you have windows, that will not help. And you know, just imagine you're taking shower and you're taking shower with the window open. That's not really pleasant. So of course you will use extracting fan. So extracting fan with timer, setting the time, and then it extracts everything beautifully and there's no condensation. So remember, extracting fan, that this is important. Another aspect which you might be not considering just for the sake of saving money is to make sure that you go for wired smoke detectors. Why wired smoke detectors? Because give you extra benefit of safety. The battery goes off, then you know your smoke detectors will be operational when it's needed. We know all the smoke detectors with the purpose to save our life. Yes, so this is what another thing you might forget or not take this in consideration just to save the money. So I hope that encourages you. Another thing which you might consider, please, is the doorbell. So this doorbell, if you have a look, there is no connections for electric power, and this is really upsetting. I have so many customers when they were asking me to wire the cable for the doorbell, and that's quite a mission to do many times. But if you do electrical rewire, ask electrician to bring a wire for you for doorbell. Either you use UV or you use ring doorbell. It doesn't matter as long as it is that you have a 24 volt available at a door. So this is another thing you might consider. Also, please consider alarm in your property. You might think to have an alarm in your property, but many alarms today, they do come with wireless connection, but they are battery and you have to charge every 1.5 years or 2 years the battery. You might go holiday and you forget to charge it. You don't know what is the level of the battery, and just imagine that the battery went dead and something happened and nothing went off just because the batteries weren't dead, and that's inconvenience for you to keep charging the batteries or replacing them. Consider option to bring the cables for in a certain point of the property for the alarm, which is crucial. Think about CCTV. Of course, today the world is full of CCTVs, and there's so many options of CCTVs, and you can go to Amazon and buy some wireless CCTVs which connect through internet. Now, about that, there is a bit of issue. As soon as the internet is cut down, that camera stops recording. But if you have wired CCTV, then you will have a box which will always record despite the fact that internet is not operational in a certain moment. Another disadvantage with the wireless, they can be very easily jammed in case if someone really has an evil intent with that. So all of these aspects, take them in consideration when you take the thinking about electrical rewire. So I will go through that. Think about your extracting fan. About extracting fan, the position of extracting fan, it's quite important to be closer to your bath when you take shower, so that's important. A second aspect we discussed, it's about the smoke detector, and advice is to be wired. Of course, the law doesn't enforce you to do that, but usually customers go for wired as electrical installation is done. So you take that in consideration. Take in consideration the doorbell to be wired while rewire is done, when all the chases, all the cuts in the wall, and anyway repairs will be done later on, so that can be done. Take in consideration also wired alarms. So you think about it, even if you're not affording to install them that moment, at least you have cables in right position. And also CCTV, even though you will have a certain wireless CCTVs, but think about possibility to have a Cat5 cable run in a different position of your house for later on. So all of these things, take them in consideration. I hope this video been useful to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, you know what you need to do. Yes, so watch us further for other information.